Welcome to the Venture Crew channel. My name is Tony,
My name is Jay.
and today we're talking about the Great War of the Void Century, Joy Boy versus the 20 Kings. So, in this chapter, we finally get to see an actual Joy Boy silhouette, and it's a picture of him. Well, it looks like he's jumping the Kings. I mean, clearly he's overpowering them. He looks very similar to Luffy. So, it does seem like what they're doing here is this is showing us that the Nika silhouette that we've seen before, that's not Joy Boy. That's not him. That's Nika. This silhouette is the real Joy Boy, who I guess he really does look a lot like Luffy. So maybe he will resemble him very much. Even he could be a carbon copy for all we know. But this just the silhouette alone, yeah, it just looks like Gear 5.
Yeah, to be real, even with the clothes outlines, he looks like he's wearing shorts and he has sort of this short sleeve shirt going on with his. Yeah, it just looks like Luffy, honestly. If you
I'm
put this,
I'm
I
thinking
like.
he's gonna have like a he's gonna look dirty. He's gonna have like dirty ass clothes on, bro. It's just gonna be like Luffy's outfit, but very like jank and dirty.
Yeah, I mean, and to be real, his silhouette, because Luffy's silhouette is pretty skinny. I'm thinking that his silhouette kind of looks on the medium size, so he might be like a buccaneer or maybe even like giant mixed hybrid. I think he's a tall guy, at least Katakuri size.
Ooh, I wonder if in the silhouette that's not even him up close. Like, what if he's in his giant mode and he's just a little bit far away? There's many ways you can interpret that panel right there. So, yeah,
Let's
but
let let's talk some more about this panel because this panel's really big. This is
yeah,
actually confirmation photo, even if it's silhouetted, because we know that it's One Piece. Everything in One Piece is silhouetted, bro. you know,
unfortunately,
even
unfortunately,
Kaido's hybrid form, the first time it got shown in the manga was silhouetted, bro. So this isn't anything new to us. We're not gonna see this in color in probably about like another 2 years, bro. Max real world time. So
yeah. If they're
I'm
still
looking forward to
silhouetting
that.
him, then we're not gonna see it in color for a while.
What one thing, this is a little unrelated, but one thing I am excited for in the anime is when they adapt this, they're probably going to adapt him in the middle of fighting the kings. Like it's not just going to be a still shot of him like this. It's going to be like boom, 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 similar to how they did when they were talking about the other flashback and the other flashbacks back in the other chapters.
Yeah, that's most likely what we're gonna see. It's gonna be really sick though to see when they animate it. Even though I already know damn well when they animate Vegapunk's message, shit's gonna take like 20 episodes to get to. It already took. If okay,
Yeah.
we had breaks, which is what made it feel long. But knowing Toei, they're gonna drag it out way longer than it even was with just the chapters.
Oh man, yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna be
trying to tell
so
you, bro.
bad. Because if
Each,
they're
each
doing like what they do 7 panels an episode, no way it's gonna be like less than 10 episodes to get to the actual
each
message.
dude, each episode is just gonna be like I said, bro. In the manga right now, it's somebody throws a punch, bro, and then it just cuts to a reaction, bro. Somebody's reaction is just every other panel is a reaction. Mind you, this is manga, bro. In the anime, like you said, bro, it's gonna be like at least a 4 minute scene, bro.
Every like second, they're every time they do a cutaway to the reactions, it's gonna be like 30 seconds of the characters just staring and just sitting there. Like I know that the Sabo one, it's gonna be like just 30 seconds of him staring at the camera. That's it. That's gonna that's gonna be the whole scene. But we're getting off track. We know Toei's gonna probably fumble this. That's a given, right? We'll just wait 20
hmm
years for the remake to catch up. But let's just get right into this. So, in this chapter, Vegapunk tells us that there are two ideals that were being fought over during the Void Century. And I think we know exactly what these are, and it would explain why he says that it's not necessarily good or evil to pick a side in this situation. It's all subjective, right? So,
Yes.
would you like to lead into what the two ideals are?
Oh, for sure. I'd love to. The two ideals in question are absolute freedom and absolute control. For example, a pirate is the embodiment of freedom. You sail the sea, you go wherever you want, you do whatever you want. But absolute freedom can be used in the wrong sense. Luffy is the embodiment of absolute freedom and he's a good person. So is Blackbeard. He is also the embodiment of absolute freedom, but he does things that aren't necessarily good for the world. So, in a sense, the idea of absolute freedom is inherently bad. It just depends on the moral aspect. Now, absolute control is in the name, like the world government. It is an establishment that controls the masses and controls the perception of certain things and certain places in the One Piece world, similar to how Eam is doing right now with erasing all of the kingdoms and painting, similar to like painting Robin the Devil Child when she was actually not not even responsible for her people's killings. You know what I mean? It's in those kind of ranges.
Yeah, because you can even bring up the fact that not even Dragon believes in like the absolute freedom. He says that there should still be a government, but it should just be fixed, right? So I don't think necessarily this is going to make us sympathize with Eam. Eam is definitely going to be the evil side of absolute control, but it's just going to make more sense as to what she's doing, why she's doing it, which I'd prefer that over her just being straight up evil. That'd be lame, right? So she has her reasons. It'll still be very it'll be very messed up reasons, I'm sure. I mean, she's just killing people. Like you can't excuse that.
There must be a motive.
There's gotta be some kind of clear motive.
There's an end goal to this. There must be a reason why she does not want the masses to know about Joy Boy. But at the end of the day, if she is immortal, let's say she is immortal, what is the reason for just absolute control? Does she just want to control the world until it explodes? I think that there is a clear end goal, an end vision to her plans. That
I mean, maybe
something completely
different. Even was she initially started out just wanting like some order, right? But maybe just being immortal and just kind of passing through time, life starts to kind of mean nothing to you at that point, right? So maybe at one point she was kind of doing the right thing to some extent. Well, I don't know. I guess she killed Joy Boy. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But to some extent, she at least thought she was doing the right thing. You know, there's this saying that in the mind of a villain, they're the hero, right? So maybe she thought she was doing the right thing, but as time passed, she just lost that sympathy for humanity. She's like, oh yeah, we can just wipe out, extinguish that flame, extinguish that light. We don't need to have them in history anymore. We don't want that. That's gonna mess with the control. She just could be so hyper fixated on this idea of order that she just doesn't care. She just wants to maintain the world the way she wants it.
Yeah, I genuinely think that's what's going on here. But
I mean, it has to be, because he's saying it's two ideas. They're neither good or bad necessarily. I think absolute freedom and absolute control, that's what it is. It has to be.
Let's speculate on how exactly this all came to place. There's always a date and time of how the two opposing sides clashed with each other. Do you think, this is a question for you specifically, do you think that the world government was pre-established before Joy Boy or post Joy Boy? Like it was in...
So it has to be post, because
stages.
They did say that the 20 kingdoms would then come together and form the world government. So they likely, after they defeated Joy Boy, they came together. They were kind of all in on Eam's idea of absolute order, you know, because it benefits them, right? These are probably still the Celestial Dragon type kind of people, where they've got slaves. Joy Boy was obviously running around freeing them. They don't want that again.
Yeah.
So it's very dicey to kind of think how it was. I'm sure they operated as a world government, but they were now officially a world government after that point. Maybe this is even when we could just say the berries, like that commerce system, that money system was probably established at that point, because they have to become one world economy, right? They got to establish one form of currency. So you could even say stuff like that came after that point. It kind of flows together. It makes sense. Ancient Kingdom just gets completely wiped out, right? So that side of the world where Joy Boy clearly led is gone. Thus, their enemy. They were probably convinced that the Ancient Kingdom would take away their order. That's probably what Eam told them. It was like, this kingdom's getting out of hand. They're too advanced. Joy Boy's leading them. They got to be shut down. Let's get rid of them because that's going to threaten your authority, right? And then Eam probably proposed, like, why don't we all just form one government? That way, nobody can take away anyone's authority. we're just all under one thing. We can establish, right, the empty throne. Nobody takes away our authority. There's nobody at the top. We are our rulers or something like that. There's just
Yes,
control. There's just order, right? There's not necessarily
I
one leader, which Eam would have then become, right, in the shadows, right? It was just established that there is just order, and we don't question it.
I think that the way that this panel right here, this signifies the end of the great. This signifies, because I think back in the day, the world government's presence in the world was probably much bigger. Like its authority, the way that they have public slaves, it was probably much bigger than it is now. Like, I think this battle was huge. It was obviously probably broadcasted to millions worldwide since they had better technology than the One Piece world does now. I think that it seemed like Joy Boy may have won, but died in the process, symbolizing the swords coming up to the chair on the empty throne. So it gave people this false hope that Eam, the ruler, is no more. The 5 elders or the 20 kingdoms are no more, and this world is now at peace now that both sides are gone. Similar, and that's why people know about the empty throne. Like, you know, the common people, like somebody like Sabo knows that the empty throne isn't sat on, because that idea has been passed down through generations of the people that have witnessed it.
Do you think maybe Eam staged it as kind of like a draw? Like, do you think it could be like they stabbed each other at the same time, but Joy Boy got killed, Eam somehow survived?
Yeah, I think it was similar to that.
Actually,
like
that I could see that.
Joy Boy may have given the final punch, but Eam did not lose. Joy Boy died, maybe even sitting at that throne, symbolizing peace to the One Piece world. But they were working in the shadows. They planted the swords there, symbolizing that they've won. Democracy has won against the One Piece world. But the world government still, their presence still was there. But the public thought that they changed their ways. That's where the admiral system came in. That's where the Marines came in. I think before it was just the world government, and they had their little army, but that's where
it was probably just the
other
kingdoms.
branches.
They were just like, they had kingdoms, they had their own armies. They probably established the navy after this point in time
to symbolize to the like this is all part of Eam's plan, to symbolize to the masses that they have this false sense of security.
The mission of the Marines is to take down the pirates. If Joy Boy was the first pirate, they're like, okay, we're not gonna let anyone like this ever exist again. We're gonna hunt them down. There you go.
In a sense,
a world army, basically, the Navy, the Marines, to take down these pirates.
In a sense, you know, that right there is inherently bad, because there is inherently good pirates. How do you even classify as being a pirate? Is it self-proclaimed? Do you have to have territory? Do you have to do a certain thing to become a pirate, or do you have to do a certain bad thing? You can become a pirate just by being a musician. There's been pirate musician bands. They are wanted by the Marines. So
basically, if you just oppose the government and the Marines, you're classified as either a revolutionary if you're following Dragon, or you're just a pirate. Because we even saw like when they shot down Sabo's little ship, they just shot him down because he had a Jolly Roger.
And my question is, and this is a question that I know, a rhetorical question. How do you oppose the Marines, the world government? By true freedom, which is being a pirate.
Exactly. I mean, that's what we've been told since the beginning of the story from Luffy himself, that pirates are just the most free people in the world, and the Pirate King is the most free man in the world. We've just been told this from the beginning.
One question that I have is, in the One Piece world specifically, maybe you know it, I need to do a little bit more research on this one specific aspect. What are you breaking free from becoming a pirate and setting sail to the seas, getting your own Jolly Roger? What exactly, like, are you breaking free from the system, taxes,
breaking free
government control? Exactly.
From the order, yeah, exactly.
So
that's why the war is still going on, because they're still opposing order. It's freedom versus order still.
would that mean that voyaging across the sea would classify you as a pirate? Because if they want to keep people in their relative countries and not switch and not move over and not migrate, that may be a cause, a reason to be why these people are prosecuted.
I mean, it makes it that would explain why it would seem kind of intentional, where you have all these different villages and countries that are seemingly just so closed off from the outside
Primitive,
world, where they don't even they don't even know that devil fruits exist for sure in some
because
villages.
it's illegal to
Yeah,
migrate, because that would classify you as being a pirate. Setting sail in the sea and getting your own Jolly Roger, maybe even starting up your own little group, even if you're doing the right things, donating to charity, helping the homeless, you are still classified as a pirate and you will be persecuted. That right there is absolute control.
I mean, yeah, because you gotta just think about it. Like, what has Luffy done so bad? Right? He goes.
Nothing.
Everyone loves him where he goes. It's not like they're going to the villages and asking what the Straw Hat Pirates did. They're just
I,
like, oh, the Straw Hat Pirates go to another place and they messed with the government we had set up there, right?
the
They
the
don't care about the
most
people. It's not about the people. It's just about the order.
It's about the order. Yeah. Once, because the thing is about any governmental system, once one ant rises and the rest follow, they can overtake the government. And I think that's probably why Joy Boy in this picture is fighting alone, because he probably didn't have much people by his side because he chose this. He fought this battle by himself. His influence in the world was there, but it was not there enough to rally up the world, which was probably his goal, to take down the world government. Because the world government presence still is pretty big. Let's say like it just came out to me and you and maybe 100,000 people that the police force is evil, just inherently evil. It would take us a whole lot of influence to convince everyone in this world to turn on the police.
You
And I
know,
think
it's just it's probably a good way to put it, right? Because
I
I mean,
think
you even have like in Vegapunk's message when he's talking about, you see the people at the bar, right? They don't even believe him,
mhm.
which just makes sense. You're gonna have people that don't believe the truth when it comes out. Even when a guy like Vegapunk straight up saying that it's happening, they're just still denying it. I mean, they're drunk in the panel. Obviously, that's what we're supposed to take away from it. But even still, right? It just shows this guy can be as serious as he is. People aren't gonna believe him because they've just been told so much how to think.
Mhm. They've been told how to think and they cannot think for themselves. We need to think about tackling this not from our perspective as the outside readers, but the One Piece perspective as the people. Similar to how we view our government, we need to view it through their lens. I think that may be the key, the code to see how things may have worked back then in the ancient kingdom, in the ancient century. Because the Void Century was only the time from where Joy Boy lived to where he died, maybe. He probably didn't even live past 35, but his influence probably did. And that's why there's so many kingdoms and countries and states and just cities that have been destroyed in the bottom of the ocean, because Eam was wiping all of that away. All of his history spanned many, multiple hundred, maybe even thousands of many countries or many islands that Eam has destroyed.
Yeah, for all we know, because if it's like what every time they use the ancient weapons, it goes up 5 meters. Is that what
Mhm.
Vegapunk said in the chapter? So they must
And
have used it quite a bit, right?
yeah,
If
it
anything,
makes
they might have
sense.
just used it so much to sink the entire ancient kingdom just on its own, because we know that they used all the ancient weapons to do it.
Eam, and this is why I say, because this is diving back into this panel specifically is taking place inside where the empty throne is one, because of all the swords that they're carrying. As you could see, there's maybe about like 8 swords just sit lying around. And two is because Eam underneath, or maybe even above, because in the anime it looks like it's like a little optical illusion. You don't know if she's walking up or down, but we can presume down. In the anime and manga, there's a scene where Imu walks down, presumably to some sort of frozen time capsule, some sort of frozen time chamber. And lying there in front of her is a frosted version, a giant version of the Straw Hat that may have belonged to the one and only Joy Boy. Maybe even there was where the final battle took place, and that is where his resting place of the Straw Hat is.
Could be.
And
that in the main room, with all the nature that Eam is usually standing in.
Mhm.
Maybe Joy Boy died in there, and all the nature just sprouted from his body.
maybe
He was
creating.
I mean, because you got to remember, this guy is the Messiah, right? He is, to them, Nika. Because Vegapunk clarifies that he was like the sun god Nika. Not that he was, right? I feel like Vegapunk would be able to figure that out if he truly was. Now, he did say he doesn't know the entire thing that happened, but he's only going to say what he knows for sure.
And
but if
I
he's saying
think
for sure that he was just like him, that doesn't mean he necessarily is.
this is taking off of that topic that you said Vegapunk doesn't know exactly all of it. I think this is where we might actually see Zunisha in Elbaf. She's going to meet him there. He finally awakens. So she's broken from the curse. Her curse is broken. She's going to go to Elbaf, meet him, tell him everything about the Void Century. Hopefully, we'll probably get everything Joy Boy, everything Nika in the Void Century, because she was there, bro. Nobody talks about this that much, but she was a crew member of Joy Boy. She was there, bro. She knows everything.
I mean,
I think that's where we can learn
the flashback where we see Joy Boy for the first time will just be like through the eyes of Zunisha. It'll be a Zunisha flashback. That's the only living character that can have a valid flashback that would make sense for us to actually get to see.
Unless it's from Eam, which I don't think. We'll probably see more of Eam's perspective. We're going to learn the whole story from Zunisha, because she was his crewmate. That she's the only crewmate that we know of that is alive today from that time. Nobody else probably is. She's the last one, the last remaining member. She's going to tell the truth to everyone.
I can see that's where we're going to see everything.
She's been waiting 800 years for this. There's no way she's not going to tell Luffy who exactly was Joy Boy, what his powers are, and most importantly, how to take down the world government, what his dream was.
There you go. That's what it is. We're going to get it all clarified from Zunisha. That's the key.
And I also, maybe this is one of my last points. Not sure about you. I also wonder, Imu and Joy Boy must have been close. And a lot of y'all may be wondering, even watching, or you may be wondering, well, why do you even think that? Why would you keep your worst enemy's most prized possession, Frosted, as a trophy? I don't think so. I think they maybe were close, but they just had the wrong. They wanted each other to join each other. Eam wanted Joy Boy to join him. Joy Boy wanted Eam to join him, in their ideals. And that brought hatred towards each other, similar to like Naruto and Sasuke. Two sides of the same coin, just opposing ideals. One obviously brought one to the other side, but it was too late. You know what I mean?
Maybe Eam just really didn't want to kill him, but she had to. In her mind, she had to. It was the only way. He didn't want to join her. Then he was just her enemy after that point. She had to kill him.
It always intrigued me. I'm like, all right, this is Eam's worst enemy. And I get like, okay, maybe I have a trophy, but why keep it? I just don't think that's.
Yeah, I feel like she would have had it in the throne room.
Yeah, she would have had it in the
throne room. Maybe like with the sword stabbed through it. If it was really like a trophy.
She kept it in good
condition. Yeah, she's preserving it in good condition. She clearly cares about it.
In this whole room, this
it's
this
got
whole
its own room.
In this hidden, and the thing is, nobody else can see it. This is all for her. A trophy is something that you would want to show off. She'd want that to be the first thing that you see in the ancient, the ancient throne. That will be at the bottom of the throne, symbolizing that Joy Boy lost, and this is her throne. She has this thing to herself in this secret room, in this secret dungeon down below inside Mary Chua that she can only access, presumably, because I mean, she's the only one that we see go down there for her only. That's why I'm thinking like they must have been close, or they had some sort of relationship where she probably did not want to kill him. He was her greatest enemy, and she, with the help of all the kings, she took him down finally. But there must have been a cost, and that was probably the curse of the Will of D, and maybe even the curse of Devil Fruit, since he was most likely the Messiah.
Has to be. There has to be a point where the devil fruits come into existence, and it was likely after that point. Because we
It
haven't been given
was,
any reason to believe that they existed during that time. And the biggest indicator, why would the Gorosei feel like they still need to experiment with devil fruits, even today? Clearly,
Mhm.
they don't have an understanding of them because they must have come after that point.
And the thing is, he died smiling. We know that because we can just do basic logic. I mean, maybe it's not true, but through basic logic, we can presume that the Will of D comes from Joy Boy. Something, something from there. He probably died right here smiling. Now that is a curse. That literally is a curse. It may be a good curse, or may not be, because all the people that we know that have died from the Will of D have been relatively young in their age.
Ooh,
The
maybe
Will of
his final words were just like, "There will always be dawn."
There will always be done. He died smiling. Then the next person that we've seen die smiling, Roger. Luffy was about to die smiling, but even before that was Odin, and then all these other D members. It's known that people with the Will of D die smiling. Even a legendary person like Whitebeard died with a straight blank face. He was mewing, you know. So it's like that's something in itself, and I think I can't show you guys right now, but this distinctive smile that I have on my wall, this Luffy smile, because she had a knife plunged right through it, and I'm pretty sure it was Luffy's head specifically. That smile infuriates her because she can never get rid of it.
Yeah,
And
it probably
this
just haunts her
this
that
one
he
specifically,
was just smiling when she killed him.
this one specifically looks so much like Nika, where it irks her nerves, bro.
Has to be the
She
case.
thinks, I think she thinks, maybe just to herself, she might not have discussed this to the girl. Say, I think she genuinely thinks that this is the reincarnation of Joy Boy. He has the same straw hat, the same smile, same body type, just he's human. Maybe she thinks that he's reincarnated. But that was just my last plot point. We can
Yeah, I know
even
that's all I got too.
dive into that into a future video why Eam has a straw hat, look more into some evidence. But that's all for me, man. I appreciated this video. It's pretty nice, pretty chill and calm.
That's a wrap. So we'll see you guys in the next video. We'll probably go more in depth. This was just more of a discussion. See you next time.
Peace.